Hey, Dwayne. Tasha in Nevada, thanks for waiting. You're on with Don and Matt.
Hi, how are you doing?
Bad, but I'm all right. I've been sick for 5 days. How are you?
Oh, no, that's terrible to hear. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys look very pretty today anyways.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, anyways, I do believe that I have proved that the Jehovah Witnesses actually hold the correct doctrine.
Really?
And, yes. I don't know if you know much about the Jehovah Witnesses, but...
I know that you guys are going to die if you need a blood transfusion.
I know that you guys have predicted the end of the universe a few times and been wrong every time.
No. See, that's the thing with the 1914. People think that was actually the prediction of the end.
They weren't true Jehovah's Witnesses, right?
Right, yeah, they were. They thought that was the end. But what it turned out to be was that 1914 was actually the start of the end.
How do you know that?
Well, because the fall of Jerusalem. The fall of Jerusalem occurred...
It didn't happen in 1914.
No, the fall of Jerusalem happened in 607 BCE.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are we to objectively know that was the end or the beginning of the end?
Well, because the Bible, it predicts in Revelation.
Yeah, well...
You do know that Revelation almost didn't make the final cut for the Bible because people thought it was batshit.
No, well, so what's that? I'm sorry?
Because people thought it was batshit crazy. It reads like the ravings of a lunatic, and you can read it and interpret it any way you want. And so when they were putting together the canon, there were plenty of arguments about whether or not Revelation should even be included.
Right. But nevertheless, if you go by the 607 and you take the 2,520 years, it exactly equals up to 1914, which incidentally happened to be the year that World War I broke out.
That strikes me as a post hoc rationalization to me.
Right.
Is there anything written that makes that connection before 1914?
Yes. Jerusalem. The fall
No.
of Jerusalem.
I'm talking about your very train of logic that you just gave us. Presumably, if it was a prediction and everybody in Jehovah's Witness land understood it, then they could have clarified it, written it out, and said, "Hey, this is going to happen at this date and this date and this date," and that would have been very easy for them to do, right?
Right, and that's what they did. They said on 1914, that's when the beginning of the end starts, and then.
Well, I believe that they said it was going to be the end of the world.
They said it was the end times, the beginning of it.
It's always the end times, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, we're
so it's an unfalsifiable prediction, right? Because it's always the end times.
Right. Well, I mean, that was 1914, but then if you look at what's going on today in Russia, again...
Oh, Magog and Gog and all that? Yeah, okay.
No, Russia, they're banning the Jehovah Witnesses. They're, we're not allowed to go door to door.
Actually, I'll retract that. It's not good. That was me being snarky. I don't want to have governments outlawing religions. I want them to go away on their own because people realize that they're ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They all are. They all are. I mean, all the other ones.
Except for all of them except for yours.
All the other ones.
You got some money on that horse, I guess, huh?
No, well, have either one of you been to a Kingdom Hall? I have to ask that.
Nope.
You have to go to the Kingdom Hall.
Why?
If you go to the Kingdom Hall, you'll feel the spirit.
I felt the spirit in the Southern Baptist Church. Why would I need to feel it in a Kingdom Hall?
It's probably a little different. It's probably a little better.
Okay. Are you done playing now?
No, I'm just saying you got to give everything a try. I gave the baptism.
No, I don't. I don't need to try heroin to know it's bad for me.
That I agree. I would never try heroin.
Okay, so we don't have to give everything a try. Do I need, this notion of, hey, you got to try everything. No, there are intellectual exercises. There's a reason we have a brain that we can use so that we don't have to try everything. So, for example, I think we should do away with routine infant circumcision. I don't think we need to have everybody try that to know whether or not it's what a God wants, or give a shit about whether or not it's what a God wants. Why are we mutilating children?
Yeah, shouldn't be doing that. But we should when it comes to religion. I think we should try them all out.
And how many religions are there? There's 30,000 variants of Christianity in the United States alone. It's gonna just keep me pretty darn busy.
Where do you find the time? And how many of them did you try out before you decided that Jehovah's Witnesses were the right one?
I don't think I tried that many.
I don't think you did.
I bet I tried a good 50 of them.
50?
Wow.
At least. But I mean, great detail.
Did you try maybe learning some epistemology and philosophy to decide how best to determine what's real? Because if I'm going to try a bunch of religions, what method did you use to determine that one is better than the other one?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, too. I mean, if you're going to be on the internet researching stuff, you don't know what could be apostate lies. And
I'm not talking about internet research. You said you tried 50 religions. What methodology did you use to figure out that you got the right one?
Well, you just got to look at the Bible itself, really.
Well, why would we look at the Bible? What about religions that aren't based on the Bible?
Well, those ones aren't true because Satan, basically.
How did you determine that?
Well, because the Bible says so.
Well,
Bible says
but you're beginning with the Bible. Why on earth would you begin with the Bible?
Well, that's true. But okay.
No. Don't just say, "Well, that's true," and then stumble on. That seems to be pretty damn important.
The Bible, yeah, it is. The Bible is important. I agree.
Well, no. You're not agreeing. It's not the Bible that's important. It was your momentary realization that you had no reason to think the Bible was important. That was the important part.
Well, the Bible outrights everything, though. You got to look at the Bible first.
Why?
Because it's the truth.
How do you know that?
Because of the prophecies. Like I said,
what the hell does a prophecy have to do with whether or not the Bible's true?
The one where Jesus said he was going to come back in the lifetime of his disciples?
The one where Adam and Eve ate from a fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? The one that says you can enslave the heathens that surround you? The one that advocates for genocide? The one that puts women into second tier or worse with regard to how much their value is or whether or not they can own property, whether they can be listened to? That book? Why would anybody care what that book has to say?
Well, because, that's the book that God gave us.
How do you know that? You can tell me all day long that's the book God gave us, but a Muslim's going to tell me that God gave us the Quran.
And it's newer.
Yeah, but they don't have the same prophecies, I don't think.
You don't think? So have you looked into it?
There's a new religion for you.
So,
how about Mormonism?
Well, Mormonism, that's the easiest to disprove. Well, maybe not the easiest. It's pretty easy to disprove.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Tasha. Disprove Mormonism if it's so easy.
I think that they found some records in some old bank when they tore it down, in the 60s or the 70s, showing that Joseph Smith was actually convicted.
No. They didn't find old records. You don't have to think they found something in a bank when they tore it down. Joseph Smith was a convicted con man, but that doesn't tell you whether or not Mormonism is true or false.
Well, yeah.
Do you actually give a shit whether or not what you believe is true, or will you just go with whatever you feel?
You got to go with what you feel in your heart, I think. You got to, you have to, at the end of the day.
So the answer is no.
So you don't actually care whether it's true. You're just going to go with what you feel. Thanks for calling.